Paranormal Buzz Radio is proud to present Girls vs. Ghost Media's Spooky Talk with Madison Smith from Madison Paranormal. You can find Spooky Talk every other Sunday, 6 Eastern, 5 Central, right here, live on Paranormal Buzz Radio. Be sure to join in the live interactive chat by going to Spreaker.com or downloading the Spreaker app for all devices.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of Paranormal Buzz Radio or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is strictly prohibited. For information on everything Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Listener discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, Madison Smith.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison Smith, and I'd like to welcome you all to Spooky Talk with Maddie. Tonight's guest is someone who started the paranormal world, like, you know, how young I was, so youngin, you know. So, tonight's guest, well, she started when she was 8 years old, but you get the point. But either way, tonight's guest is someone that I have yet to meet, but I would like to give this big Spooky Talk welcome to Sophia Temperilli.
Hey, thank you for having me on.
No problem. And I'm sorry if I slaughtered your name.
It's fine. It would not be the first time it's happened in my life.
Yeah, like...
Gotta thank my parents for that one.
Thanks, parents.
Can't even fit it on a Twitter username, so that's where that goes.
You know what? Sophia T, that will be your username for now.
Pretty much,
Ta-da!
yeah.
Magic. But, for all the people who are watching, if you have any questions, type them in the comments. I'll try my best to get to them, but if I don't see them, just spam them, you know? Because half through, like, I'm blind. Things should be right in front of me, and I just don't see them. So, yeah. Ready to get started?
Yeah, for sure.
So how long have you been investigating, and when did you first figure out you wanted to investigate?
So I have been in the paranormal, as you said, since I was 8 years old. I always have loved Halloween and stuff. I don't know. I would think I was a pretty creepy toddler, the way my parents described me. They were, you know, they always had, like, Haunted Mansion stuff out. One of my favorite movies when I was little was Sleepy Hollow. Can't really explain that. But as I got older, you know, my parents still loved that. And apparently when they were dating, they used to watch a show that was on in the 90s after the X-Files, I think called Sightings. And there was a psychic on there named Peter James. So for my parents' anniversary, they decided they wanted to do something different. Obviously extremely different, to go on a ghost hunt. Some wouldn't consider that romantic. So my mom had seen that the psychic named Peter James was hosting tours on the Queen Mary, where he discovered the little girl ghost there named Jackie. And for some reason, I just got really jealous. I really wanted to go. And so my parents were like, okay, we need to make sure this is, you know, safe for you. They hadn't been in the paranormal before either. We all started pretty much at the same time. So they messaged the psychic Peter and they said, is this okay for our daughter to go on? And he said, yeah, the ghosts there are my friends. There's over 500 ghosts there, and I haven't encountered a bad spirit. So he said, come bring her on the tour and she can call out to the little girl ghost there, Jackie, because should have been about the same age. No one really knows how old exactly, but she should have been around probably 7 to 9 years old.
All right.
So I went on the tour, and I just loved it. And I started investigating ever since with my parents. And after that, my dad wrote a book, kind of a biography about Peter with him, who's the co-author. And so we started going to events after that, and everything went from there.
Okay. So, was that your first ever paranormal thing? Not what, how do I word this? Did you have your first ever experience there that was, really rememberable, or was it in another place?
So, it's a little bit of a complicated answer in the fact that the first experience I remember would have been on the tour, because I actually saw the face of the spirit there. But when I was younger, I lived in a haunted house, and I didn't know this at that point in time when I entered into the field of the paranormal. But when I was younger, probably 2 years old, couldn't really communicate what I was feeling at that time. I would go to our laundry room, and I would just stand frozen, and I would just stare. And my parents really couldn't figure out what was going on. Other people in the family saw it, but I couldn't really tell them what was going on. And I don't remember this happening at all, but my mom basically said I looked frozen with fear. And looking back at the experiences we had in the house and how it wasn't a good spirit, that I probably had my first paranormal experiences much younger than I even remember.
All right. So when you were on Ghost Adventures, I heard that something pretty awesome happened on the Queen Mary. Could you explain what really happened there,
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough to be able to investigate with the Ghost Adventures crew. They were amazing to work with, and I can honestly say I've been to the Queen Mary probably 200 times. I've been there so many times. It's so close to where I live, and I've never experienced anything like when I investigated with Ghost Adventures. There's a spirit in the pool area I call the Shadow Man, and he's a very intense spirit, and he's really just not a good guy. And I've seen him since I was little, but that night when the lights were fully off in the pool area, which I've never been in there with the lights completely off, he just was on a different level. And there was so much activity that night. We got EVPs that they didn't show in the show because there was foul language that they couldn't really put on the TV. It was all that. There wasn't even bleeping out. And it was so clear. Some of the best evidence I've ever heard. And at one point, Zach actually got rushed by the ghost. The ghost ran at him. And my mom heard the footsteps of the ghost running at him. They also didn't put that in the show. But it was just really incredible because it was so intense, and you could just feel the energy, and everything that was captured was amazing. And I wish that people could see more of that. They don't play the episode anymore, unfortunately, but it's incredible everything we caught there.
That sounds really cool, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was a really cool night. I was really lucky to be able to investigate with them. Thankfully, to our friend Debbie Angelina, also Debbie Constantino, she was the one who really suggested we were there, and it was her final episode with Ghost Adventures, and she was just an amazing person. So I can't be more thankful to her for that opportunity.
So talking about the Queen Mary, did anything else happen to you while you were there, or was it just that, really?
On the Ghost Adventures episode, or just in general?
Just in general, really,
we've gotten, EVPs in the pool area. One of the things that I think is the most interesting about the Queen Mary, and I've never seen this in any other location, is you can actually sit in the engine room by door 13 and hear someone whispering, basically talking in a low voice. You can't tell what they're saying, but you can tell someone's talking. And if you go around, there's no one there. In the propeller box of the Queen Mary, you can hear someone whistle. Again, no one's there, and it's very audible. So there's so much you can capture at different times. My parents have had, my dad's in a photo where you can see a shadow figure in it. So people have captured that there when we've been with them. I was touched on my elbow once at the Queen Mary. And yeah, I mean, it's different every single time you go. Like I said, the psychic there said there was over 500 ghosts. So you really never know who you're talking to every time.
All right. So, by the way, hi, Jordan. Yeah, Jordan, I see you. Just saying. We were talking before this. I'm sorry. But, when you were in the Queen Mary, not sure if this is a different ship, but there was the Spirit. I've never been on Battleship except for once. That was just a tour around it. Not sure what it was called because I can't remember anything, you know? But pretty much I heard stories that there was a ghost tour guide that would show people around. And then afterwards, the people would be like, hey, you need to give this guy a raise, you know? And then the boss would be like, we don't have somebody named Matt or something. I'm pretty sure that the spirit was named Matt. I'm not sure, though. I don't know.
I haven't heard of that story on the Queen Mary. I know people have seen the lady in white there. I know that they've seen wet footsteps sometimes coming out of the pool area, which I personally haven't experienced, but that has been a report there. I know that you can hear, you know, German voices there because of POWs, prisoners of war. Because if anyone doesn't know, the Queen Mary was a luxury liner built in 1936. And when World War II came around, they needed more ships to transport soldiers. So they transformed it, repainted it all gray, called it the Gray Ghost. And it sailed the seas, transporting soldiers to their deployment area. After the war, it brought their families back. But it also, during the war, collided with a ship called the Curacao. And they had orders to stop under no circumstances. And so the Curacao, when it was hit by the Queen Mary, it sank. It pretty much got obliterated. And I think every single member of the Curacao perished. A lot of them were killed by the propeller. So there's voices attached to the propeller, just a lot there.
Okay, so I have an idea what the lady in white is, but, let's see. I can't remember. Like, can you explain to me what it was, the lady in white?
So the lady in white is a little bit complicated because there's been reports of a lady in white at so many locations across the U.S., but it's typically a woman that is seen in a white dress, walking hallways and stuff. I don't know if she really speaks because I don't know. I know she was seen on the Queen Mary, but I don't know the exact history with other locations associated with her. But I know that she is a figure that is seen at a lot of places. Now, I don't know if this is the same woman that people see or if it's just there's multiple women in white across tons of haunted locations.
You know, that's actually really cool. That it's seen. Like, does it look the same at other locations or are they all different in their very own way?
Well, that's the interesting thing. I have seen a ghost I can't for sure say it was a ghost. This is something that happened to me on the Queen Mary. I was with some people in the paranormal and my parents, and I think my cousin was there. We were by door 13, and this boy in a hoodie, he just started following us. It was really weird. He just looked like a normal person, but we didn't think anything of it. So he was just jumped into the group, started following us. And then at one point, someone was going to be like, why are you following us? What are you doing here? And someone went to go ask him, and he ran away. And now, if anyone's been to the engine room of the Queen Mary or any battleship engine room, it's all metal. So if someone runs away from you, you're going to hear footsteps. You're going to hear, things hitting metal because things that touch metal make sound. And there was no sound when he ran away. There was nowhere that he could have really gone because it's such small corridors, but he was nowhere to be found. And every person pretty much described him differently. I saw him as a boy who was tan with curly brown hair and a navy blue sweatshirt, but some other people in the group described him differently. But we all knew it was one person there, but how can everyone describe him differently if we all saw the same person?
That's really weird.
Yeah. Like, and we don't know where he came from or where he went. So, I mean, I can't for sure say it was a ghost, but I don't know where he could have gone to if he was a human.
Yeah. And that's just more proof to that spirits, they like to show people what they want to show them, basically. If you get the point, like where I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Yeah, it's really difficult. I mean, as I say on my show, I mean, we'll never truly know what the afterlife is until we're dead. So hopefully I don't find out anytime soon. But
yeah,
it's strange. There's so many questions revolving the afterlife.
Yeah. And that's just really baffling that everybody, like, you saw one thing and then another person saw another. And then when he was running away, nothing.
Yeah, and if he just disappeared like that, he should have jumped under the catwalk or something, and people checked, he wasn't anywhere. And it's kind of in an O shape and then veers off at one point, more like a Q. And so someone should have seen him there too, and nothing.
Yeah. Like, did they even see him on the security cameras is the real question. Like,
I'm not sure. The Queen Mary's not great about that.
True. Like, do they even have, like, I know that in some areas they do, but...
Not sure. They're supposed to. If they do, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure they work. The Queen Mary is a great ship, but people also have to remember it is close to being 100 years old, and all ships do start to fall apart, and the maintenance on them is extremely expensive. It has been docked, not in dry dock, in actual salt water in the Long Beach Pier, I think since the 1970s or 80s. So it does need a lot of repairs, and it is falling apart slightly.
Well, that's what you have to expect, really. Like,
yeah,
not trying to change the subject, but, like, that's how planes work. Like, they only fly for a certain amount, and then they'd be like, nah, we don't trust you anymore. Bye-bye. You know?
Yeah, it's just trying to preserve the historical elements while also not having it so expensive that it's unable to be maintained. So I think that's kind of the problem they're working through right now. And security cameras, I'm not sure if that's on their list of costs or not. I would say they would say it is, but I can't confirm or deny that.
They probably just have, like, security cameras at the entrance and, like, security guards throughout the place, you know?
Yeah, probably on the places that they have a self-guided tour. I would assume maybe not the boiler room and stuff, because there's nothing really in the boiler room. So there wouldn't be any need for that. Pretty sure probably not the pool area. Again, I don't work there, so I don't know.
Have you ever been on other battleships that's not the Queen Mary?
I was on the USS Midway, I think it's called, in San Diego, but I didn't actually investigate there. But that's the only other battleship that I've actually been on.
That's cool. I've been on one, like I said, I don't remember because I can't remember anything. I can't remember names, but I can remember the details, you know?
Yeah,
I probably have the beer like one of the things in my room, but
I have a really good and bad memory, so it just depends on what it is, I guess.
Yeah, like, it's kind of sad that, like, I can remember the whole Ghostbusters theme song and everything, but I can't remember, like, what one of my past friends were, you know? I'm like, what's your name again?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't remember what I learned in math class. I'll never remember that, but I can remember song lyrics. So it goes like that in life.
Like, I'm not really good at math, as some people know. Like, in one of my talk shows, I said 20, wait, no, not 20, what was it, 7 plus 7 plus 7 equals 28.
Oh, yeah. I think there is kind of a rhyme like that, too, at one point, so it kind of works.
7 plus 7 plus 7 equals 28, guys. And then if you ever listen to my thing, I also say that -0 exists. Because why not? You know, like, oh, and then just an update on it, I finally beat my teacher. She admitted that -0 does exist on my end. Because I got so, like, I created this freaking PowerPoint on why it exists.
I don't know.
So,
no,
yeah.
I get really lost at numbers. They don't work with me at all. Math was not my strong suit at all. Lunch was my strong suit, or going home.
That's me. Same with gym. Like, gym's okay. So is art.
Yeah, I was on pass rest. I only took gym for a year in high school.
To be honest, like, my favorite class has to be history. Just because the teacher makes it fun to learn. He isn't like, okay, class, we're going to be learning about this today. No, he's like, oh, and then this happened, you know, like.
Yeah.
He's trying to make it fun.
Yeah, I had a good history teacher. I like psychology. He was a really good teacher, and he let me do a PowerPoint on the paranormal at one point. And actually, when I was playing EVPs, a girl in my class screamed, so I take that as a win for me.
No, so I was in class, and I had a book, and people were like, is that about witchcraft? I'm like, no, it's not about witchcraft.
Yeah, that's like, really weird. That happened to me too once, kind of. Well, yeah, my teacher insinuated she thought I was a witch. We were reading The Crucible, and she goes, oh, witches aren't real. Then she looked at me, started laughing, and said she was sorry. And I was like, okay.
Oh, my God.
I was just like, okay, it doesn't even make sense, but sure.
Like, how do I explain this? So, when I was in the 5th grade, I'm not going to expose names. I'm going to call her Miss Dippin' Dots, because why not? So Miss Dippin' Dots, I had a book, and I was reading it, and she said, put the book away, it's not educational. And I said, actually, yes, it is. It's teaching me history. And, like, I opened up to the page, read this, and this. She started reading. She was like, shut the book. Just shut the book. And I was like, come at me. Like, yeah. It was funny. And then another thing, I'm not trying to blame anybody at the school. I can understand. But I was kind of mad, not gonna lie. I was trying to make a club at my school for paranormal because some of my friends, they were like, I would like to join, you know, just to...
Yeah, I did the same thing.
But the principal, he was like, no, we can't have that. It's religious. I'm like... You have these, Jordan, don't expose the teacher. I'm sorry, Jordan, I've known her since pre-K, she likes making fun of me.
Yeah, it's all good. It's great that your friends listening.
Yeah, I have 2 friends. Well, a lot of them, but 2 of them that are actually my age, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, adults and older people are cool too.
Yeah.
I guess I'd say that now as an older person, so it would be that bad if I said they weren't.
Yeah. But, like, what was I going to say? I don't know. I'm not even sure what the heck I was going to say, not going to lie. Okay. So, is it alright if I just change the subject off the Queen Marian School?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Alright.
It's your show. It's up to you.
Okay. I just don't want to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna, like, switch the subject. Like, you know. So, I know that you have a pretty awesome guest on your talk show that you've had for 8 years, right? The past 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah. Who was your favorite guest that you've had so far?
I can't really say that I've had a favorite because I've had so many amazing guests. I would say one of the most memorable to me, because she was so inspirational in middle school and early high school, was Glozell Green. If everyone has seen the Cinnamon Challenge, you've probably seen Glozell. And that was just everything for me. I was fangirling inside because it was a YouTuber, my favorite YouTuber at the time. So it was amazing for me.
Well, the Cinnamon Challenge is when they take a spoonful of cinnamon and then, like, they try to eat it. But, like, everybody's just like, yeah. I couldn't do it. I haven't tried, but I'm not going to.
I'm too accident prone to do things like that because I'll end up injuring myself. Don't ask how, but there's some way that I will. But I've had so many great guests and memorable guests that it's hard to choose, but it's one that stands out for something that made me extremely excited because I was interviewing her about the paranormal, but she was also completely unrelated to the paranormal at the same time, which was cool. Mm-hmm. I was interviewing her because she was interested in the paranormal, but she'd also done a ghost hunt with, I think, Colleen Bellinger, who is Miranda Sings, and Ariana Grande. So I was interviewing her about that, and I was just really excited.
Okay. And then also talking about your talk show, who was your very first guest that you've ever had?
My very first guest was, I was 12 years old, and my first guest was Alexandra Holzer. She is the daughter of the famed parapsychologist, Dr. Hans Holzer, which anyone wants to know who he is, I would definitely recommend checking out the Holzer Files on Travel Channel. They just got a season 2, and a parapsychologist studies the paranormal from more of a scientific standpoint. Mm-hmm. And after he died, she kind of took his legacy and was getting, her father's name out there while also being a investigator herself. So I interviewed her about her childhood and, basically after that, being an adult in the paranormal.
Okay. And then what was your absolute favorite thing that has ever happened to you on a show?
My favorite thing that's happened to me on a show, I don't know, that's really hard. I've been doing this 8 years, so it's hard to remember every single show I've done, to be honest. Same. I know something really weird that happened to me. Someone called in and changed the lyrics of Smash Mouth All-Star. So that was not really a favorite moment, but it was really strange and memorable because that was just weird. I liked it because, Shrek, but it was really bizarre.
Shrek.
And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say something else, not a favorite moment, but something that made me cringe. I've never had a loss of words or cringe, and I'm sure it'll happen again. But really recently, I had a couple on. They were telling me about their investigations, and the wife said that they were on an investigation, and she sat down on a bench, and a rusty needle went into her rear side, and that makes me cringe every single time I think about it. So that was really interesting to hear because that's horrible, and I could see it happening to me.
No. No. Man, you just made me cringe. How?
Yeah, that's the worst. It's rusty and the needle, and my God, I'm too accident prone to hear stories like that.
No, I can do blood, and I can do all that, but, no. No thanks.
Yeah, no. So, those are two things that stand out as memorable in recent times, because those aren't stories you really hear every day.
Mm-hmm. So what I was going to ask is, do you like Shrek?
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't?
Same, bro.
He's a meme lord. He's a meme lord, meme culture.
Oh my gosh. It's the meme god.
He really is. I have a Shrek mask. Won't be pulling that out anytime soon, but I have one.
Finally somebody I can relate to.
Yeah, it's wild times with the internet. You never know what you'll see, and Shrek has really blown up with the internet. Yeah,
Shrek. You can ask my mom, whenever, let's see. I think it was Friday or something. Shrek was playing. I'm like, Shrek the Goddess is on. And my mom was just like, what? I'm like, nothing.
Yeah, I think one of the more interesting things to come out of the internet is the Shrek version of Slenderman. Slenderman.
What?
That's just weird, because that kind of is paranormal, but also Shrek, and who comes up with that?
What? I'm just, so confused.
Yeah, I saw PewDiePie play it. I can't even explain that. I just can't.
To be honest, my room is like so dark right now. I don't even know why. Like, gotta turn on the light, man.
Well, you're an investigator. You're
I know.
sitting in the dark. I
know. It's just weird. Like, when I started this, I could at least see my face. Ta-da! Alright, back to the show. So, what was the funniest thing that you've ever had happen during a show? Like, funniest.
Yeah, I would probably say the guy calling in with All-Star Smash Mouth, because I didn't expect that. I still don't know why it happened. It was something about, he changed the words to be about macaroni, but it was just really bizarre. And
I know that.
Like I said, I don't get it. So that was funny, because why did that even happen?
Dude, I have just the thing, but I'm not gonna sing it. My friend Jordan knows what I'm talking about. We were on FaceTime today, and I was just singing it. I'm like, it's kind of like the thing that you were saying, like macaroni, except it's about a Milwaukee pasta bandit.
Yeah, it was super unexpected, and then the guy, I was joking. I said, "Oh yeah, send me the lyrics on Twitter," and he actually tweeted them to me. So I don't get that either. I don't know what happened to that tweet, but none of it makes sense.
Let's see, Jordan knows what I'm talking about. She does. Because we were just talking today, and I've just randomly, Milwaukee pasta bandit found dead. Okay, now. He was picking up the gun with his finger and his thumb, and it ended up pointing straight at his forehead. Well, okay, now. Back to the show. I'm sorry.
Seems more like a Panic at the Disco song title.
True. To be honest, I'm legit just gonna send this to you so you can watch it. It's funny.
Okay, cool.
Like, it was actually on the news. And they just paused it. Like they took a screenshot because they were watching it on their phone or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, Milwaukee pasta bandit found dead. You know, like they were just singing along.
Yeah.
And like the news guy, the face that it was paused on, it just matched it perfectly. Man,
yeah,
now we're just talking about Shrek.
That tends to happen when you start talking about Shrek. You can't stop talking about Shrek, you know? When views start coming, they don't stop coming. It's like that, like talking about him. Yep.
Now see, that was like the most perfect timing for that. I'm so proud. I have done well. And so have you. Good job. Round of applause. Yay. Okay. Shall we just get back to the show?
Yeah. Like I
We're
said,
just talking about Shrek and memes.
I've talked about food quite a few times on my show, so, you know, it happens.
You know, I have just a question. What is your favorite snack food during investigations?
That's hard. I change my mind a lot, so super indecisive. I know on the Queen Mary, they have a vending machine, and I know how to get there by heart. So whatever's in the vending machine, that looks good at the time, if I'm being honest.
To be honest, mine has to be bacon if there's a microwave. But if there's not a microwave, it's like, I don't even know. Like, it's just anything. Like, it could be freaking granola, for God's sakes.
I know the last time I did an investigation, I brought Subway, so I brought Empire Sandwich.
Oh my gosh, I love Subway. Milk. I love Subway.
Yeah, I mean, food's the best. So that's ended a lot of times on my show. Ended up what I've talked about. I can't help it. It's really bad. I should do it less. Will I? No.
To be honest, I like the soup.
I've never had their soup.
It's delicious. I've had, let's see. I think it was like potato chowder or something. I don't know. But my favorite has to be their cheesy mac and cheese. I mean, not cheesy mac and cheese. Cheesy broccoli soup. Like, I have no regrets of that. No regrets in my whole life of just eating.
I usually like the cookies. I usually fall to a much more unhealthy side in life. I've been trying to change that recently to be, adulting in the proper way. Does it work all the time? No.
To be honest, if somebody offers me something, like I try to tell myself no, but at the end I'm like, okay, fine, I'll eat it, because I'm just that kind of kid.
Yeah, I mean, favorite snack food on investigation, this isn't a snack food, but I don't do anything or eat anything without Dr. Pepper, unless it's sweet, because that's really kind of gross. Dr. Pepper is my drink of choice.
I like root beer, just to be honest.
Yeah, I used to drink root beer a lot. I've changed my soda preferences a lot, but it's stuck to Dr. Pepper since, I think, freshman year of high school. So probably about 6 years.
I like Dr. Pepper, but, root beer has to be my favorite.
Yeah, I think that I drank that a lot in middle school, because I would bring sodas with me to school because I could, if I wanted to.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's see. Should we keep talking about food or, paranormal investigating?
It's totally up to you.
It went from Queen Mary to school and stuff, to Shrek and memes, to food, and now...
That's the life of a young paranormal investigator, personal life and paranormal life. They don't always are the most cohesive in a fluid conversation, but it happens anyway.
Yeah. All right. So, because we haven't talked much about paranormal, let's stick with a little paranormal,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's just start off with some of the places that you would really like to go to, like a bucket list. And you can name as many places as you want.
So I used to say Doll Island. Then I saw the spiders, so that's completely off my list now.
Yeah.
I would go there, but I have arachnophobia, so that's not on the top of it. But
spiders are nasty.
Yeah, disgusting. I hate them. But the island, I'm sure most of the locations I would say too have spiders, but I'm just going to pretend they don't. Alcatraz, I really need to go to. My parents were able to spend the night there when I was about, I think, 9 years old. Super jealous. Still really upset about it. I guess they had their reasons, but I'm still very upset. Call of Duty Black Ops Mob of the Dead is there. It just makes it even better for me. But the island in Italy, I think it's Poglovia. I can never say it, and I don't know why. I think Dracula's Castle in Romania would be super cool. Yeah. The Roosevelt really cool. Hotel in Hollywood, California would be a lot of fun. I would love to go there. I'm super interested in the old Hollywood ghost. I just think it's really fascinating, and the way the silver screen days were just kind of shown. I mean, Hollywood Boulevard back in the silver screen days to the way it is today is completely 180. So I just think it's really fascinating the way Hollywood was just kind of shown, and, with actors like Rudolph Valentino, apparently there were secret tunnels he used to go through to hide away from fans. So there's just so much history there that I just think is really interesting. I know at the Roosevelt Hotel you can hear, I usually get this wrong, but I think it's Montgomery Clift, and he plays a bugle. I'm pretty sure that's right.
Wasn't it a trumpet?
Yes, that's right. No, a bugle, because he was in a military movie.
Oh, so, yeah.
Yeah. It's not From Here to Eternity. I don't know what it was called. Right. My dad knows. He's really good with film stuff. I used to get that wrong all the time, so I think I got it right this time.
All right. What was I going to say? So I might get this wrong, but I don't really care. Mm-hmm. So, the Roosevelt Hotel, that's where Black Dahlia was last seen, right?
No, she was last seen at I think she was last seen at the Cecil Hotel, which is, I don't know the exact street, but the term people use for it now is Skid Row. The Cecil Hotel was, I think, a really popular place in the 20s. It started to take a decline in more recent years. Someone famous who stayed there, not for, I'd say more infamous, is Richard Ramirez. Stayed at the Cecil Hotel. They've since changed it. They tried to renovate it and stuff, so now it's called the Stay on Main. But the Cecil Hotel has a bunch of history, and I believe she was last seen there.
All right. So, do you know what the elevator game is, by chance?
I think I saw Shane Dawson try it, but I'm not entirely sure.
It's like where you have to go to different floors, and at the end you're supposed to be in a different dimension or something like that.
Yes, I did see Shane try that with Garrett Watts and Drew Monson.
All right. So, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's just all hullabaloo, or do you really think it could happen? But
I'm honestly not sure. I wouldn't know how that would work. I see. Here's the thing. I don't believe everything I hear in the paranormal, but I also feel that certain things are best that I don't want to figure out if it did happen to work and I was placed in an alternate dimension. I really don't want to find out. So I try to just stay on. I'm not going to say it doesn't work, though I really don't think it does. But I just think a lot of things, some things are just better left unsaid.
So, if you were going to try, like, a challenge like that, which one would you do? Like,
I don't know. I know the Charlie one was fake. I don't remember what movie that was from. I don't know. I know of the Charlie challenge and then the elevator challenge. I guess you could consider a Ouija board a challenge. If I was going to do anything, I've never used a Ouija board, but if I had to choose, I would choose a Ouija board because I think there's more things known about them than the others. And Charlie doesn't really work. So I would say that if I wanted results and knew which is the safest out of anything. Yeah.
For me, I would have to go with one man hide and seek. I think that's what it's called or something. Mm-hmm. It's where you have to grab a doll, you put rice in it to attract spirits somehow. And then the doll is supposedly have to come alive and try to find you, I guess. I don't know.
I think I saw Shane do that. He used to do a lot of he called them spooky boy videos, and he used to do a lot of those challenges and stuff. I don't really like haunted dolls. I don't like haunted objects. I just think they're really creepy out of anything. Maybe that comes from living in a haunted house. I feel that way. But if I was going to have a doll walk around to me, I've never seen Chucky, but I know how that goes, and I don't want to experience it.
Yeah, but, like, the only reason why I would want to do it is because you're allowed to have people there with you, and you're not alone doing it, you know?
I don't know, that's hard. I think I'd rather be alone than have a haunted doll chasing me, because, you know, Annabelle, Chucky, there's so many great examples. Patrick the Doll.
Wait, what? What the doll?
Patrick the Doll in Florida.
Oh, I thought you meant, like, a haunted Patrick the Star.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
And then
there's...
There's a doll at Zach's Haunted Museum, too, so I don't have a good feeling about dolls.
Yeah.
They're just creepy in general, and so I just rather leave them be.
Yeah, like, one that I would never do is the Midnight Man, because, like, I don't want this shadow thing coming around. Well, like, you're allowed to do it with people, but that's scary because it's supposed to get colder when he's around, and then you can see him, apparently. Like,
Yeah, I've seen enough of a shadow man on the Queen Mary to where I don't need to try and conjure anything on my own.
Yeah. Like, no. And then, have you ever heard of Robert the Doll?
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about in Florida. I think he wears a sailor suit.
Yeah.
I saw him on Ghost Adventures. I think I put him in my paranormal report, so I'm not sure.
Do you know?
I don't.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It's okay. I don't know his backstory fully. I do know that he's. Oh no! Wait. I think I do. He was given to a little boy, I think, and then the boy died, and his spirit's supposed to be in it. I think is what happened.
No. So, I'm not trying to interrupt you or anything, but let's talk, my dude. So, what happened is a family. The boy had he had friends, but pretty sure that they moved or something, so he didn't have any. And the maid that they had gave him the doll, and the maid passed away or something. And the son, he would always keep the doll. Like the family, like the mom and dad were like, I don't want that thing. No.
Yeah.
But he always kept it, and things would happen. Pretty sure that one of them was like Robert would draw on the wall, and both the kid and the doll were named Robert. I'm pretty sure Robert the doll. And let's see. And then when they moved, at least I think they moved, something happened. Like, I'm not really good at this, but as I remember, they moved, and they put the doll in the attic, and the kids that would walk by the house would always say that Robert would always be in different positions or different rooms looking out the windows.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, yeah, I mean, I know that's a little bit similar with Annabelle. People used to see her move positions and stuff. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's pretty strange. I don't know if the spirit would move it, or if you set up a camera, if you could see the doll actually move as if it was a person.
Yeah, like, I'm not really sure how that would work, but, and then Robert, the kid, like the actual kid, when he grew up, like when he was actually older, he remembered the doll. He was like, wait, I wonder if it's still there. So he went back, and it was in the attic. So he was like, oh my God, it's Robert, So then he took the doll, and pretty sure that he was married, and he treated it like a son until he passed away. And then the doll was like, and then the wife was like, no, I don't want this. No, I don't want it. Because, like, things would happen. Like, things happen, and then she would, I don't know. But she gave it to somebody, and then they were like, yeah, let's just put it in a haunted museum,
Yeah, I think he has to be kept behind glass or something.
Yeah, and then...
so he doesn't hurt people, is what I've been told.
Yeah. Or, like, it doesn't move around, and then they just can't find him, Like, my worst fear is having a doll, and then it moves, and then I just can't find it, because, like, it could be anywhere. Like... No. But, let's see, what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Oh, when you want to take a picture, so this is just what I've heard, when you want to take a picture, you have to say, may I take your picture? Before you actually do it, or something happens, like they get sick or something, and then people actually send letters back saying sorry to Robert.
Yeah, I think that's happened with Annabelle and the doll that Zach has. I, for some reason, can't remember the name, in his haunted museum. And I believe that same thing has happened with the crying boy painting that is allegedly haunted. I think it's in Europe.
Is that one painting that there was a boy on it or something? And like sometimes when the owners would look at the painting, he would be crying, or it would just be blank. Like, there was no boy at all on it?
Yeah.
Or is that something else?
No, I think that's the same one. I think there's a few paintings like that, but I know the famous one is the crying boy.
Yeah. All right. So, what are your thoughts about children doing this kind of stuff, like going to these?
Well, I think that it's good to, I think it's good to, kind of inform kids about the paranormal, because I think when people know more about something, they're less fearful of it. And I think that, I lived in a haunted house when I was a kid, and I was in the paranormal as a child. And the kids at my school, they didn't believe me. They didn't really care. And so I think if people, have more information on it, then if you have someone who's going through something hard, then they're more likely to, be supportive to someone going through that instead of, just telling them they're wrong. And so I think it's good to be informative so people
at least know about it.
They aren't just told they're wrong, because I get a lot of things in the paranormal can be, fake, or it could just be mistaken. You see, Ghost Hunters does a really great job of trying to figure out what is debunkable and what is real. So I think that even if someone's going through something and it can be easily explained, or if someone in a case of having a mental illness, I think it's still good to not just brush them off and tell them that they're wrong or it's all in their head, because that can do so much more damage. And so with kids in the paranormal, there are a lot of people, adults and children, that live in haunted houses. And so a lot of times you can't really help what you experience. But as an adult or child in the field, I think that the main thing is knowing your limits. There are so many factors in the paranormal. When I started out, my parents let me go to the Queen Mary because a psychic that they trusted said it was safe. But when they went to Alcatraz, where they imprisoned so many hardened criminals such as Al Capone, the Birdman of Alcatraz, they wouldn't let me go there for fear of endangering me, because in the paranormal, you can be pushed, slapped, burned, scratched. And there are dangers to it. So I think if you make sure you're safe, whether any age you are, and go in there respectfully, you need to know your limits, what you feel is safe for yourself, or if you're a kid, what your parents feel is safe for you. I understand why they didn't let me go to Alcatraz, although I'm still upset about it. The Boy Scouts sleep there. It's just about, being respectful, knowing what dangers there are, and knowing, are you capable enough of being in a situation that could put you in harm? I know with haunted homes, I wouldn't feel comfortable helping someone with a haunted house because I am still young. I'm still trying to figure out my life, and I don't have the life skills to help someone with the emotional strain that they could be going through while experiencing this. So it's just about, maturity level, and just being respectful, and, again, the safety levels and what you as an adult or your parents feel as a child is okay for you.
Yeah, and that's a really good point.
And besides the spiritual stuff, there are so many physical dangers in paranormal that people tend to overlook. In abandoned buildings, there is asbestos, mold, rusty needles on benches you don't know about. And so it's also taking a look at the health risks are imposed to it. On Ghost Adventures Destination Fear, they wear masks because of things like asbestos and mold. And so it's also knowing, as any age, the physical harms that you can endure going into certain locations. Yeah.
Because, not saying that's going to happen, but the floors, they could be, really bad.
One time I was on the Queen Mary, and we were in this one room, and my dad saw light coming up from the floor, and he looked down, and there were just plywood covering it. But if you look, it was 100-foot drop. So if you stood on it and the boards break, you're going to fall 100 feet.
No. No.
It's a risk assessment, and knowing how you feel comfortable or how someone feels comfortable putting you in that situation, depending on your age.
Yeah. Okay. So do you want to do something fun?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we have a little game here.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Spoopy. Wait, no, not Spoopy. Rapid Fire with Natty. Can't English. All right. So the objective of the game is to go fast as you can through the questions.
Okay.
Which I am going to be timing you. Let me just grab my timer.
Okay, I play Jeopardy, so I really hope I do well because I like being faster than my dad at questions.
Okay. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the last thing you... Wait. Oh, darn. I messed up. I messed up. Darn. Okay. So what was your nickname? Or did you just not have one?
So I can't really say I had one. I was really lazy in middle school, so people called me Sofa. Stuck with some people, not others. Most people just call me Sophia.
All right. So what's your greatest achievement that you've done?
I would say probably doing panel moderation at the Ghostbusters Fan Fest. I'm not the best at speaking in front of crowds. I have a little bit of stage fright, but I did it, and I was super proud of that.
I love Ghostbusters. Okay. Last time you got scared?
Last time I got scared, I don't know. Probably when my grandma came to the door. She kind of talks through the door, and it scares me sometimes because I don't expect her to be there.
All right. So where do you go to relax?
My bedroom.
SB7 or an app?
I would say an app. I use Ghost Radar pretty frequently.
Right. Okay. Dogs or cats?
Dogs. I have 4.
Ice cream or custard?
Ice cream.
Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Horror or adventure movies?
Adventure. I don't watch horror movies.
Dude, I love horror movies. Okay. What is the thing that you're most scared of?
I would say losing my family.
Oh, I thought you were going to say spiders, but that's actually pretty dang scary, not going to lie.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're a superhero, what would be your superpower?
I really like to choose teleportation because I would think it's so much easier than planes, cars, and I'm too lazy to want to do any of that.
Yeah, like just teleport to the fridge. You know?
Just it would be so much easier. I would just really appreciate that.
Yeah, that would actually be really nice to have.
It's not helpful to anyone, I don't think, but it would be helpful to me. And that's, I think, important.
Yeah. So what was your best childhood memory?
I would say probably middle school. I had so much fun with the kids I went to middle school with. They were great. They were really funny. So pretty much any time I went to school in middle school, even though it's not the funnest place to be, they made it extremely fun. Middle
school's scary. I'm sorry. I'm serious, man.
I went to school with, I think, 16 kids in my class. 11 of them were boys. There was only 5 girls, and it was just the funniest class ever.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Late nights or early mornings?
Late nights. I hate waking up.
Exactly. Residential or commercial investigations?
Commercial. Like I said, residential. I just don't feel qualified to help people in the way that they would need it.
Yeah. So, do you go by ghost hunter or ghost investigator?
I honestly just don't care.
All right. So
most people like paranormal investigator better because you're not actually hunting anything. But for me, I wouldn't be offended if someone called me either.
Yeah, I understand. Soda or pop?
I usually say Coke, but I would go soda in that.
Oh, well, I'll change that to soda, pop, or Coke. There we go.
California.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Which do you like better, winter or summer?
Winter.
I like summer. It's nice.
Yeah, most people say that. I like the cold.
I can't do the cold. I just can't.
My mom says the same thing. She hates it when it's cold, and it's cold here right now, and I love it.
No. Do you like pizza or tacos?
Tacos. Gotta represent my Mexican heritage.
Yes. Okay. Favorite experience so far?
Life experience or paranormal?
Either will work.
My favorite life experience? I would say graduating high school because I really liked getting out of there. And paranormal experience, I would say investigating with Ghost Adventures was really awesome.
All right. What would, in your book, what would you say the most scary place that you've ever visited would be?
I would definitely say, I know I brought this up a lot, but the Queen Mary, the guy in the pool area freaks me out beyond belief, and I really don't like going in there anymore.
All right. No, tricky one. Are there human ghosts underwater?
I would say yes. I know Destination Truth did a couple investigations underwater at shipwrecks and caught EVPs. So I haven't personally investigated underwater, but people who have captured stuff.
Wait, did they make waterproof things? Or did they just put them all in Ziploc bags?
No, I think they had waterproof cameras back then.
Okay. Because I don't think the K2 would work if it were just in a Ziploc bag, if you get what I mean. You know?
Yeah.
All right. So, I already stopped it, when you answered the last question. It took you 5 minutes, 35 seconds. I mean, not 35. 37 seconds and 33 milliseconds. So, that was actually pretty good. Good job.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. Okay. So, I'm starting to see the Shadow Man rounding the corner, telling me that her time is almost over, sadly. I'd really like to thank Sophia for taking time out of her busy schedule to come on, chatting with myself in Spoopy Talk, you know.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. And then I know that this is last second, but now that we're talking about this, would you like to shout yourself out on social medias, so everybody can come and follow you,
Yeah, I'm on Twitter. You can check out The Ghost Host Show on Twitter, Sophia Temperilli on Twitter, Instagram, Sophia Temperilli, Facebook, The Ghost Host, Sophia Temperilli, and my show is on liveparanormal.com, The Ghost Host, every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Good job.
Thanks.
All right, so have a great night,
Thanks, you too.
Good job. Good job. Good job. To say thank you for being with me tonight. My next show will be February 16th, and my guest will be Charlotte Smith. Whew. Man, this is a lot. Okay, I'm going to try to get this out. And we're also going to chat about the Ghost of War, series. The Ghost of War series. And other things, So we're going to try to make that really fun, Okay. I'm going to try to do this in one breath. Make sure if you're not following me, give me a follow at Madison Paranormal Investigation on Facebook and Maddie_Paranormal_Investigation on Instagram. So for tonight, peace, love, and happiness. And most of all, be spoopy, everyone.